Dr. Samsarah Morgan is with us. She was tear gassed last night. She's a midwife in charge of the Oakland's Children Village at the Occupy Wall Street, Oakland, or Occupy Oakland area. Dr. Morgan, welcome to the program.
Hi there. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for joining us. Tell us what happened.
Well, early in the morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, the encampment at Occupied Oakland and Oscar Grant Plaza was very, very violently assaulted by the Oakland Police Department. They came in very heavy-handedly with a lot of force. They had a sound cannon. They used rubber bullets and tear gas on the group of people who were sleeping in their tents. I wasn't present for that, but we had a person who was in charge of keeping watch over the Children's Village, which had been established for the children and families of the occupation, who herself was very roughly treated, and the Children's Village was destroyed. The tents were slashed with a sharp razor and everything confiscated. The entire the encampment was pretty much, dismantled. It took them less than a half an hour to come in and brutalize everyone, cart, I believe, about 105 people off to jail and to secure that area for themselves.
Yesterday, we went to some links, and our executive producer, Sean Taylor, is no slouch when it comes to getting guests on this show that we really want. She's brilliant at it. Trying to find people who had been at that event who were arrested, and we were unable to find any because they were all still being held in jail, which is unusual. I mean, typically, it's an hour and you're out, particularly for a misdemeanor. But apparently, has anybody been let out of jail yet?
We just got word that the young woman that we consider our Children's Village guardian, Rachel Dorney, was released late yesterday evening.
Okay.
And my understanding also that people were given a very, very heavy bail. I believe it was like $10,000 to get out, and that would be prohibitive for her. If I had been arrested, I probably would still be sitting there because I don't think I could have come up with that.
Wow. We're talking with Dr. Samsarah Morgan, who is was the midwife in charge of the Oakland's Children Village at the Occupy Wall Street or Occupy Oakland encampment. Night before last, the massive tear gassing. Last night again, they came in and confronted the protesters. The
tragedy of it, I mean, people were attempting to regroup, and there was a General Assembly meeting called for 4 o'clock in front of the main library.
Is this today?
Showed up
or yesterday, I mean?
Citizens showed up for this meeting. I was present at that meeting and spoke and took off to peacefully protest. People were going to the police station to protest that their compatriots were being held illegally there. And, one of the police responses was to, tear gas this crowd full of women. I was meeting clients, people who had been their childbirth educator, and their mothers, pregnant women, children, families in this crowd, and tear gas was dispersed. We counted at least 6 canisters being used before we had to remove the space because we had to leave the space because I had a 10-year-old child with me at the time. So this was just it was just violent beyond description.
Yeah.
And I am appalled that this happened in the middle of the city that I love so well.
Dr. Morgan, what is the consequence of being hit with a sound cannon or a rubber bullet or tear gas, for that matter?
Well, I experienced tear gas for the first time myself, so now I truly consider myself an American citizen. And I have to tell you, if you want to, what I've experienced firsthand was that your body wants to explode from the inside out. Your eyes turn red, you can't breathe, you can't think, and you kind of wish you would die.
Yeah, like the worst case of flu, plus you want to puke, is my recollection of it. It's been a lot of years since I've experienced it, but yes. And I've seen photos of people who were bloodied by being hit with rubber bullets.
Yeah, I saw that the police said that nobody was injured, but there are pictures going around on the internet now of a gentleman who I believe is a war veteran, an Iraqi war veteran who was most definitely severely injured.
So here's a patriot who goes off, who believes his president and goes off thinking he's defending his nation to war, and he comes back, and the Oakland Police Department fires a rubber bullet in his face.
Well, allow me to say that I have a personal sense of outrage that President Obama was in San Francisco last night when hell was being waged, war was being waged on the streets of Oakland against American citizens who were peacefully demonstrating and protesting.
Yes, it is absolutely time for the president to speak out on this. And I think that the pressure has to be building on him to do so, because these are patriots. These movements all across the United States, these are patriots. And the top 1% who are basically just taking everything, 40% of all the income last year was taken by the top 1% of Americans. 40%. That's insane. We haven't seen numbers like that since 1928. And for the, well, this is your rant, not mine. Dr. Samsarah Morgan, last 30 seconds, what your message for our listeners and viewers?
My message for the listeners and viewers is to please, we all need to, if we believe in prayer, we should pray. And everybody needs to take appropriate nonviolent action in their communities. This is our country. It does not belong to the 1%. It belongs to the 99%. And especially on behalf of the families and babies, we need to. There are people who can't go out there actively in the street because they're doing that important work of child raising. But the rest of us have no excuse now to just sit and watch this go on. Our country depends on us.
Yep.
And if we want our country, we need to fight for it. We're a democracy.
There you go. And so tag you're it. Go out and occupy something. Dr. Samsarah Morgan, thanks so much for being with us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Great speaking with you. We'll be back. 27 minutes.